Hello and welcome to the E14 Gamecast, Emotionally 14's gaming podcast. I'm your host Rob Wade and I'm joined as always by Blake Harmer.
Sure you can.
And Brad Harmer-Barnes.
Hello and welcome to Brick Fury.
Having another episode
of Brick Fury.
I'm Gary Rhodes on Brick Fury. I'd watch that.
Yeah, if he's game, why not?
Yeah.
Bibbidi Bop Hypersonic Speed.
Yeah, it's game. If he's game and we're game, so
yeah.
Games. So
maybe he's a massive legendary gamer or something.
Maybe, yeah, could be.
Yeah,
maybe he's into the DC deck building game instead. Yeah. Could be one of those
dark
things.
Horse, not a dark horse. You know what I mean?
Do they have a game?
Yes, the alien one, I guess.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. So we'll do a quick round of what games you're gaming, but then we're going to move to. We got some questions, so people have sent stuff. Brad, you sent me a couple, and then Jeremy has been prolific today. I'm going to inquire if he's all right at some point tomorrow.
Jeremy's going to Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy's going to Jerem. So, Blake, what games are you gaming?
I think my games haven't really changed since last time we recorded.
It's fine.
No, I'm still playing Xenoblade 2 on the Switch at the moment.
Enjoying it?
Yeah, apart from the sound effects really grating on me, yeah, it's been fine.
In a Japanese game?
Yeah, it's just if you're going to have your characters talk during a fight scene in a JRPG, and you know that's going to be 90% of the game, at least get them to say different things.
Right. I thought you were going to say
we'll beat them with the power of friendship. You said this every single time I find an owl to kick.
That was pretty much my least favourite line from The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
We'll beat them with hugs. So let me know how that works out for you. All dozen of you. Yeah. I thought you were going to say when you were saying if the sound effects were annoying you and they started talking about the dialogue, I was hoping there'd be some really dramatic scene where it's like, the secret of the temple has always been, just over the top some
I
fox
suppose
bitch just screaming.
Oh great, Aiden's turned up. Yeah. Everyone's favourite.
Considering I've played Dark Cloud and I just know that there's that girl who does like 1 point of damage. Who just goes, ee!
Basically,
repeatedly every time she attacks, and she only does 1 point of damage. Yeah. She is terrible.
Yeah, basically.
I think it sounds like tinnitus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or somebody just like, what's your favourite?
Sure, it wasn't an attack of tinnitus.
I had to stop playing because I just turned around while I was midway through playing it, and I could just see Cat's eye twitching.
And that's when you found the mute button on the remote.
Yeah.
Well, here's a pro tip: turn it down to volume 0, then you're going to get the symbol come up, and then the screen real estate is untarnished. These are fun facts from the E14 Gamecast here. Just trying to help.
Yeah.
Xenoblade.
Yeah, I've been playing that and enjoying it. I am quite near the end of that, so hopefully next time I'll be able to talk about a different game.
Cool.
Apart from that, I gave Knack a go.
Who?
Knack.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It's a PlayStation Plus game.
Well, Nakago was a Japanese game designer, wasn't he?
He's a wrestler, I think. He's fought with Kenny Omega.
It's for Tower Rock's new movie setting.
Yeah. Definitely not Nakatomi.
Yeah, I can see why it didn't get great reviews. But yeah. It's got a horrible checkpointing system.
I've heard this.
It only lets you save when you actually get to a point of an actual part way to go, and some of those bits might be like long. 10, 15 minutes of play, which I mean, when you're only just jumping onto play something 5 minutes just for dinner, you can't. You'll have to replay all of that section again when you go back on. You can't just save it.
Sounds like it sucks.
It's also, considering it's meant you'd think Knack is a children's game.
Mm-hmm.
It is fucking hard.
Yeah.
It might just be because it's a bit clunky, but I think it plays more like God of War, but you can only be hit twice.
Okay.
Sounds like Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not made me as cross as Dark Souls, because Dark Souls, I swear, sometimes just wants to be incredibly unfair.
You could have just left it at Dark Souls, I swear, sometimes.
Yeah.
That would still be thematically correct.
Well, yeah. But I mean,
on a scale of 1 to solving a Rubik's Cube while wearing oven gloves, how hard is it?
It's just problematic.
Squirm.
Yeah. No, seriously though, yeah.
Does it like he's giving a wedding speech. I love it. But seriously though,
type of thing.
We've all had a jolly good laugh.
Seriously though, I'm playing it and I don't know why.
Seriously though, let me fucking talk.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm playing the game. I think it's because it's the perfect price.
Like on your wedding, don't let your speech end. I'm playing it, but I don't know why.
But seriously,
I don't know why I'm here. Cost me 10 grand. This.
Yeah, unless you sign up to Weddings Plus, where you get one a month, but sometimes they're crap.
She's covered in owls.
That sounds like a great wedding.
I know we didn't record that, but I
bloody love owls.
Then again, there was a bit mentioned. Mentioned in the other Crazy Train where we mentioned something, and that was on the recording before.
Entirely possible.
It's about time Rob starts recording the B-roll. I think.
I think it is. Yeah,
some of it's not broadcastable.
No, indeed, or defamatory.
So there you go. Having a wedding.
Welcome to the Oswald Mosley cast.
Anyway, having a wedding covered in owls can be a good thing, can be a bad thing. Whatever floats your boat.
So, what games you game?
Anything else? Apart from being covered in owls?
Apart from that, I went to... Well...
What the fuck is that?
We're only like 5 minutes in.
In terms of...
like a wedding covered in owls. Right.
Yeah, well, I mean, if as reviews go for Knack, that's one of the more imaginative I've heard.
There's no argument. It is for toughest level of lemmings.
Yeah.
A wedding covered in owls. I have to...
The dig button just makes it worse.
Why is there an owl button?
Why would you dress a lemming up in a little tuxedo?
There's no amount of umbrellas that are going to get me.
No, this is it.
Oh yeah, lemming satire, Blake. Keep it coming.
Yeah, this is it. You must have about 8 of those jokes.
Yeah, one for each of the motions.
Yeah, fair enough.
Block, dig, climb,
bridge,
explode, bridge,
pickaxe, which is just diagonal.
Banana bomb.
Close enough.
Jetpack.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I feel like they would have broken the game.
Yeah.
And Soul Edge.
Yeah.
And the King's Glaive. Or we could just use the teleporter.
Yeah.
Any other games in your gaming?
No, tabletop wise, obviously we went to Wargamers Den in Raynham and played the Star Trek OP of HeroClix.
We did, and it was fun.
This is good fun.
Yeah, I didn't redshirt it, which I was expecting to do.
Yeah. I thought I was going to play atrociously and ended up winning, so...
Hashtag standard Blake.
Yeah.
Hashtag basic Blake.
To be honest, my draw that day wasn't good.
You did not have the best draw.
I crapped out.
I think you both had 8 character teams,
yeah, I think
I
had a Mirror Universe Uhura who was
pretty good,
bitey, and I had Charlie X who I really wanted just 'cause I quite like the character anyway.
Yeah,
but my team was not good.
No,
my team went great because I had a Romulan sub commander with my rare.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
Yeah,
so I think the Uhura must have been.
Yeah, I had a regular Uhura who was a rare, but I didn't use her because she didn't really go with the rest of the build, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think I had one of those. There was like awkward point cost as well.
Yeah, she was 40, and I think I would have to play under if we used her, so I just went nuts to it.
Yeah.
She looked fine as a support piece, if you know what I mean, but I didn't think she was going to be.
If you know what I mean.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Tie one off, if you know what I mean.
The Mirror Universe characters in that set looked really hard.
They were pretty hard, yeah.
You had Mirror Universe Spock, didn't
I did, yeah. Little light on the paintwork on the uniform, but it actually kind of worked.
The paint jobs across the set were awful.
Yeah, they weren't great.
But look forward to a Brick Fury review when I do an unboxing.
Cool.
Yeah.
And tear it to shreds.
Yeah.
To shreds, you say. Yeah. Any other tabletop stuff?
No, I don't. We played a bit of Devil's Run.
We did.
It was fun. I enjoyed that. And that's all I've been playing recently.
Cool. Brad?
Yeah.
Video game wise, I've been pretty much exclusively playing Battlefront 2.
Okay.
There's been the story mode of that, which I'm enjoying.
How are you finding the game overall?
Fine. It's more of the same.
Yeah.
Which is what I wanted, just an updated version of that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what I played of it supports that.
Perfectly fine.
Yeah.
There are like the crates you get for like logging in daily, or you can unlock. They feel a bit mobile gamey, and I just don't feel there was a need.
It's quite a common, it's quite a common component of multiplayer games now. Is that sort of that? It's because they want to retain your interest.
Yeah,
even if it's just for like
that. I'd rather just do something like grinding and getting me XP and buying stuff that way. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, you can still do that.
Yeah, I'm just not. It seems like unnecessary to me. But hey, I'm not the only one playing the game.
Seems a little bit bored.
Yeah, it just bores me. So, okay, cool. Got some credits, great.
Yeah,
and I'm playing the story mode at the moment anyway, which I'm quite enjoying.
Cool.
The guy they've got to do the voice for Luke Skywalker has apparently never seen Star Wars.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah,
and also
the rest of them are
harder
fine
to justify over time.
Yeah, the rest of them are fine.
Yeah.
The Luke Skywalker voice is not good.
Mm.
Telltale-wise, Devil's Run, Mansions of Madness. We played an insanely good game of Mansions of Madness the other day.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Me, you, and Ian, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, that was actually involved in us plotting out a logic problem grid.
We had to,
yeah.
That was the only way we could realistically actually figure out what we needed to do.
No, it's brilliant.
It was great. Yeah. So I'm interested to know whether certain things change.
Well, we can do a let's play then.
Yeah.
What else we've been playing Telltale-wise? I think that's about it.
And the AVP?
The AVP game we had was really good, actually.
It was good,
Yeah. The horde mode.
Yeah, we played the survival mode, so Marines and Predators versus aliens. Last Stand.
Yeah, the horde mode is really good. You basically just use every model you've got, so if there was a lot of aliens on the board.
Yes, there were. And some particularly bitey ones.
So it's 6 Predators as well, which was fun.
And they all rolled like puddings.
They do, yeah.
Yeah. In that particular instance, I think the problem we had was that we were rolling for the aliens and we were rolling very well for the aliens, so a lot of the saving throws, we were like, that worked. And then it came to like the Predator saving throw, and they not only didn't dodge the attack, they tried a way to jam it further into their skull. I'll help you, thunk.
Yeah. But they just happily just tap the thing on the bomb on their arms just to help you.
It's just kind of this way.
Yeah.
Any other tabletop stuff?
It's about all I have time to do. So,
yeah.
And just painting, trying to catch up areas to paint pile.
Yeah, I feel your pain.
Yeah, do you?
I think yours is slightly bigger than mine.
Yeah,
but it's not a competition.
Yeah, I've been doing some terrain for Devil's Run, just kind of spice the board up a bit.
Cool.
And I'm doing some more Marines for AVP as well.
Nice.
And then probably back to Blood Bowl again.
Yeah, fair enough.
So it goes.
Yeah.
Yourself, what games are you gaming?
So I'm still gaming Skyrim on the Switch, which is still fun, and I'm still finding a lot of new quests that I either didn't get to the first time round, or I played it so long ago that I've forgotten them. So there's a lot of stuff that's kind of either fresh or kind of vaguely familiar, but I'm not bored by it. I bought a few games they had a Switch sale in the last sort of couple of weeks, and I bought a few games in that. I bought a game called Golf Story, which was like a sort of RPG, it's like themed around golf. Which is kind of just like one of those games that's just fun to sort of... It's the kind of thing you'd have on your phone, just like a bit better version of that. One called Enter the Gungeon, which is a twin sticks bullet hell shooter set in a dungeon. Yep, it's good fun. It's good, Switch. But I think it's also available on PS4 and Xbox as well. And probably almost certainly Steam. And then I bought FIFA 18, which works nicely on the Switch. I was quite pleased by. And I bought Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2. I haven't had a chance to play those yet. Tried all the others out at least. I've then Xbox wise, I played the upgraded version of Bulletstorm. So I finally started that off.
Okay.
It's fun. It plays like I remember, which is what the good kind of remasters do. They don't play like they actually were. They play like you remember them being, because they sort of improve it a bit. And it was nice and smooth and fun and over the top. And I was whipping people with the lasso thing into spikes and electrical pylons and stuff, just like I did before. I'm probably better at it than I was before, if anything. And then I feel like I've unlocked a lot of the combos quickly.
Okay.
No,
I felt like
luck.
Yeah, well, I think I unlocked quite a few of the combos, and then after a while, when I realised that there were some really complex ones, but then the bad guys got more tougher, I just used the same 3 combos over and over again.
Yeah, there's a few you can sort of fall back to, just like lash, kick again.
Yeah.
Gun them in the head. I mean, some of those are designed to be reused, so it doesn't matter too much. I didn't do... in the HD version, there's a Duke Nukem skin pack you can put over the top.
Okay.
So the main character is Duke Nukem instead of the character that's normally in the game.
Cool.
I haven't had a chance to play that yet. I'll probably do it after I've finished the game, and maybe after I played something else to sort of cleanse my palate afterwards. Video game wise, that's about it really. I did try to get some PS4 gaming in the other week, but I just sat there. I have this problem with an abundance of choice. I sit there in front of a menu full of PS4 games, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Especially if I've not got a game on at the moment. So if I've got like a story game, I'll just carry on with that. But if it's just like, I could play anything, I almost spend most of my time just kind of overwhelmed by choice, which is why I keep falling back to the number system. But that's a bit more difficult to do on the digitals. I mean, especially because a lot of them aren't downloaded yet, so I have to download them.
Yeah, and I think the reason I keep mentioning Xenoblade is, it is a bloody long game.
Yes, this is true.
I've put about 77 hours into the damn thing. So it's just called Xenoblade 2.
It's your band, isn't it?
Huh?
That's your band, isn't it?
No.
Blake and the Xenoblades?
Yeah. Grumpy Blake and the Xenoblades.
Yeah. How do you get cross? I feel like...
my hands.
I don't know. Keep dropping things. Yeah. Keep failing those dexterity rolls.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I feel like there's another game I've been playing, and I can't think.
Is it a tabletop game?
No, I was thinking it was a video game, but it's not coming to me, so it might come to me in a minute. So I'll carry on by talking about tabletop. So obviously we played our AVP game, which was good fun. Played some Hero Clicks, which is always nice. Mm-hmm. I've got a couple of games I've organised, and also we'll have a fun battle royale type game in the not too distant future, so that's always nice.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I can't think of anything else. I think that's about it, really.
Cool.
So that's our little roundup of what games we've been gaming. So let's consult the mailbag. So this one's from @RealBradHB.
Never heard of him.
No. What games would be enhanced with a custom peripheral, a la Guitar Hero, and which ones would be nightmarish with one?
Plastic bag peripheral for Manhunt.
I feel like Five Nights at Freddy's having little buttons for each of the doors that you can slam shut.
Oh yeah.
How is that game? It's one I've seen go by. I've never tried playing it.
I've not played it myself. I've watched little bits and pieces of people playing it, and it does just seem to be a series of animations that are just done in quite a good way that makes you jump quite heavy. So the idea is, I don't know how familiar you are with the plot.
Not at all.
So the plot is you're a night manager at like a Chuck E. Cheese style restaurant, which is called Freddy's, and at night the animatronics come to life and try and kill you. And you've got a series of doors, which are the weirdest doors ever because you have to power them up to shut them.
Right.
It's not normally how doors work, but whatever.
No, cool.
But you can only power certain ones at a time.
Right.
The idea is you've got to sort of anticipate where you've got security cameras. You can switch between the feeds, and you have to work out where they're going and where they're going to end up. But the thing is, if you get it wrong, they'll just appear just in front of your face in the room.
Okay.
So it's like
jump scares, basically.
The survival mode of Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
It's got that sort of feel to it.
Okay,
like
cool.
you sort of, there's a sense of foreboding, and then suddenly,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Also, you've got only so much power to last you the day, isn't it? So if you have the doors just shut, it will just drain the power really quickly.
Yeah. Okay. So you have to unshut them for a while to recharge the battery and things like that, I think.
Yeah. Or just manage the
They've
power
done a
level.
ton of games out of it. It's like about 5 or 6 now, I think.
Yeah. I've never played one. I've only watched a couple of videos of it.
I've watched a few, and they're quite funny to watch people jump out of their chairs and stuff. A lot of these things, like, you could probably... I reckon it's like horror movies. I reckon you could probably get away with playing them if you had the sound muted. I think a lot of them come from musical cues and sound effects and stuff.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. But, that's one I would like. I'd like to see one with, just like a DDR pad. It could just easily be that, and it's just like each one does a different door and different cameras and stuff, because you could just imagine the Let's Play hilarity where people are just like, oh my god, and just swinging their arms about and stuff.
An Angry Birds catapult.
I feel like VR Angry Birds could actually be quite cool.
Yeah.
Maybe
you always got to just measure out what angle you're pulling out and the pull you've got.
Maybe not a VR one where you actually take the eyes of the birds while it's flying through the air, because I feel like that would be quite harrowing.
It would be, yeah.
Not to mention make you sick.
Yeah, true. A pressure-sensitive scalpel for surgeon simulator.
Yes.
Not all the tools, but just the pressure-sensitive scalpel, or even and there's a VR version, so theoretically you could use the haptic gloves or something to get the effect.
It's going to be like a stamp for papers, please. Just a USB stamp.
All glory to Artuska.
Yeah. What a game! What a game!
It is good. It's the hardest sell in the world.
It's a hard sell.
Oh, it's great. You do admin.
Yeah.
And then they make it harder for you to do admin. And your family's dying. And you have to decide who eats or whether grandma gets medicine. It's great.
Yeah, I only played a little bit of it. I should go back and play it properly, because I never played it to the end.
A couple of the endings. Yeah, it's worth doing.
I just played it for
I
the
got
first...
to an ending. I
think I played
I
think I only played like the first 4 or 5 days, I think.
It's worth just sticking with it. It's really good.
Yeah. And I enjoyed it, but I just played it for a bit when... this is like a black comedy. Just because I was just watching everyone slowly getting worse and dying and that.
Yeah,
but I wasn't sure if I was doing well enough or poor enough or not when I was playing, because I was like, I don't know, because all my family's dying, am I playing well or am I playing badly?
Yeah.
Or is it, that's the point?
Yeah. I would like to see the number of possible permutations for the game RimWorld manifested in a Wheel of Fortune style wheel. This is like, my colonist... goes mad
and kills all my sheep.
Bitten by a squirrel, dead. No, really, that's happened. He lost an arm once. I fucking love that game, but it's ridiculous.
What game is this?
RimWorld. It's basically like Prison Architect, but Dune.
Okay, cool.
So you go onto a new world and colonize it with a team of like 4 or 5 to start off with.
Yeah.
And then you can recruit from neighbouring settlements, and you can also take prisoners and try and coerce them around to your side, or you can execute them and bury them in the back garden. You can have a back garden.
Sure.
But the chaos is sort of randomly generated. So people have personalities, like quite a varied set of personality traits, and things like they'll try and have romantic relationships, and if they get rebuffed they'll be depressed for 2 days.
Okay.
And one of their friends will die, so they go on a mad
Sounds
rampage.
like operational level Sims.
Yeah, kind of, but it's well worth playing.
Okay, cool. Check that out.
Definitely
What's
recommend. Steam, I don't know about.
I don't know if it's on any other format
No,
at
it
the
might just be
moment.
Steam.
Okay.
Yeah. It's quite a big game.
I
It's
know
not like
Kat loves it. She's logged hours upon
Yeah, I
hours
know,
in the damn thing.
Sounds like that sort of thing.
If you look at my Steam account, all those hours are her.
Yeah.
Why would I do that?
Yeah, I know.
How many hours do you think I've got in the day? Oh no, I'll just check how many hours Blake. No, not Blake. Someone else has played on Blake's account. What the fuck is wrong with you?
What other ones would be good? I mean, to be honest, I've never found that the traditional peripherals that you get, like the gun grips and stuff, have actually been that much fun.
I miss light gun games. They've disappeared again.
I think
They came back when
home
we
ones
have a sensor bar. But
yeah, home ones have disappeared because of TVs, because they
I need
can't
to go-
reflect properly.
Yeah, I need to go back to Margate because they've got an Aliens cab there, the
Nice.
pulse rifle one.
Mm.
It's the
Yeah,
only
nice.
reason to go there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they used to have a really good Terminator Salvation cab in Brighton that I used to really like.
Yeah.
When I went to the pier, like on a day off or something. I used to have a lot of those when I was freelance. So you know. Yeah. Well, freelance, but, you know, sometimes, some days it was the same.
6 to 1, yeah.
Yeah, some days it amounted to the same thing.
Yeah.
Except when you're employed, generally you get to go to work and find out that your work is still there from when you left.
Yep.
Yeah, but it wasn't always the case with freelance.
No.
Sometimes you'd leave, and by the time you got to work, it would have been cancelled. Bearing in mind that had you phoned to say, is it still on when you left, they'd have said yes. Still, I didn't begrudge them because it wasn't their fault. But yeah, it did mean I spent, yeah, I was gonna say, it did mean I spent a lot of time playing Terminator Salvation and imagining that the robots were the clients.
Pumping money
Which,
you
in
didn't.
a way,
Pumping money you didn't really have.
yeah, in a way they kind of were. So what about games that would really suck with a peripheral?
Apart from Manhunt.
Apart from Manhunt. I've never understood the appeal, personally, of steering wheels for car games.
Yeah, I think they've got to be your kind of lifestyle.
You have to be an
game
enthusiast
almost.
about cars, maybe, yeah. But it's like, when...
They're a lot of money as well.
Yeah, when the Wii came out and they released that game Red Steel, you know, the one with like the samurai sword and the guns, I liked that because it wasn't like a proper one-to-one sword fighting representation. It was sort of a cut down version. People were saying like, I want one-to-one sword fighting. It's like, I don't want to have to learn to be a good sword fighter to play a game.
No.
I just want to play a game.
Lightsaber grip for Force Unleashed on Wii, which was fun.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
The 2-player fight mode on Force Unleashed on Wii was fun as well.
Nice, yeah.
Good
Force Unleashed on the N-Gage was the one that made me laugh. Which I had a phone that had N-Gage software, not the actual N-Gage console.
Of course
but
not. Yeah.
The phone, they had a phone with the N95 with the N-Gage software, and they had a demo of Force Unleashed. I was like, that sounds good. I'll download that and give it a go. And I played it, and it was fine for a mobile game.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll see how much this is. 40 fucking quid.
N-Gage was just
Ridiculous.
stupid.
Yeah, it's beyond a joke.
Yeah.
It was a terrible idea.
It was a mini disc of gaming platforms.
I bought fewer games on that than I bought on my PSP Go, and that should tell you something. I think I can count those on one hand.
At least PSP had some good titles.
This is true, even though digital was way too expensive at the time.
Yeah, I didn't understand the PSP Go. I think that was definitely ahead of its time in terms of a
discless
marketing
media console was definitely ahead of its time, especially with the prices not being very competitive at the time. Now, you probably find now if they'd released a PSP like a Vita with no card slot, probably go all right.
Yeah,
maybe.
Well, I mean, if you just use mobile technology and
because you got shitloads of indie games and small cheap titles, and like this is one of the reasons the Switch is so good. It's got like 400 games already because any indie publisher is just port into the Switch because it's really simple. So and then you just got this big library of games. You got some of the sort of the standard first party stuff, and you got some of the third party stuff. You've got slightly adapted versions. You've got 2K18 featuring the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Nightmarish peripheral, a Stanley knife, a pair of cutters, and a bread knife for heavy rain.
Oh shit! Basically, just anything in heavy rain.
Pretty much.
Any peripheral. I don't even want to hold the controller.
Why is it telling me to go outside and dig a hole in the ground? Oh my god.
Jason.
A balloon for heavy rain. There you go.
Yeah.
Ed, can I have a balloon? No. Credits. Oh, look, I'm just looking over to my.
I've played Heavy Rain with my friend, just sitting there watching it. I played for it once, and she came round and we played for it. Cause it was about 8 hours, I think. So we sat down off work, and me and her, I watched her play through it, and it was undercut somewhat by her insisting on referring to Sean as Jason 2 for the entire 8 hours.
yeah, kind of.
He just wanted shoes. That was all he wanted.
Yeah. A heart rate monitor for Dark Souls, where if you die in the game, you die for real.
Very few take.
Yeah. Joe. And somehow, he's still with us.
Is he?
Not literally right now.
No, having watching him play Dark Souls, he is actually quite good at it.
I believe it.
He loves that roll button.
Yeah.
He's not good at a board game, though.
This, good against remotes is one thing.
Yeah.
Good against
Come on,
miniatures.
Joe, I want to play it.
Yeah. There you go. Joe, if you're listening, maybe that's a Let's Play.
I suppose I could just set up my copy.
I forgot you had a copy as well, yeah. All right, yeah.
Yeah, we'll schedule it in just after Battletech.
Yeah.
A Mech Warrior cockpit for the Mech Warrior.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah. I'll be taking that, what's
Steel
that game?
Battalion.
Steel Battalion, that one step further.
Yeah.
A Star Wars Starfighter cockpit for a remastered X-Wing Alliance.
A Star Wars cockpit for Star Trek Online.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
You just walk on, just middle fingering everybody.
Yeah. Did you see that clip of the guys playing the Star Trek VR game?
No.
Just while they're drunk. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh, great. I just
I'll
watched
dig
that.
it up for you.
Yeah.
The captain keeps accidentally hitting the red alert button.
Nice.
Just, it's my fat fingers.
If it weren't
Captain Chubby Hands, what's going on again?
If it weren't
Fuck is
so
Spock talking about?
If it weren't so expensive, would love to buy. Like, if money was not an object, I would definitely buy 4 PSVRs for everyone just so we could play Bridge Crew, because I think it'd be hilarious.
E14 is a limited company and we're away.
Yeah, you're in charge of that.
Yeah.
Let us know how that goes.
Yeah.
Can I have a business loan?
Please.
What are you going to spend it on? PSVRs.
Oh, sweet. You just got right in the check.
Yeah, that's a fair investment.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I can only appreciate. Just like you.
The bubble won't burst on VR.
Yeah, no, they're not.
Oh, yeah, pumpkins before Halloween.
You try one of those VR headsets you put your phone into?
No, I haven't.
Off the
No.
fucking toilet.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe
terrible.
I have actually.
They are terrible.
I don't know. I've had to go on the PlayStation VR. Oh, that's one I've played since last time we tried.
I tried one out of my mate's Samsung phone and it just gave a go. And it was video footage of you of someone obviously taking a GoPro on or a VR camera
on a roller coaster.
On a roller coaster. And that was all it was. And it was just, but there was no sense of motion. You could turn your head around and it kind of lagged a bit as you looked around. But it was just, there was no sense of movement. There was no sense of adrenaline. It was just you were watching a video from a roller coaster with a really heavy forehead.
Yeah.
That was all you had. And the other thing we noticed is if you turned around, literally everyone else on the roller coaster was Chinese, and that just made us go, "Oh, I wasn't expecting that." I mean, I'm sure they've got roller coasters out there, but
And if they want to ride them, that's cool.
yeah, I totally. But I just feel that when I was playing with cutting edge technology, that shouldn't have been my take home.
Oh.
How
was it? Yeah, everybody on the ride was Chinese.
Did you download any other games and they were all Chinese?
No, because that'd be terrifying if they were.
Yeah. No, I just thought it was just like, oh, I'm just having a nice walk through the park.
Yeah.
To be fair, 1 in 5 people are Chinese, so
Yeah. Statistically,
It's just-
1 in 5 VR videos are. Yeah, it was just that shouldn't have been my take home from using new tech. That was
No,
all.
indeed. But that technically means that 2 out of E14 should be Chinese.
John Blake.
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't know why I didn't think of that. So we had a question from Jeremy in a change of pace.
Never heard of him.
Yeah.
Ages.
So at Rowling Jeremy on Twitter asks, why can't you turn off the sweariness in some games?
He's gone a bit Mary Whitehouse this week, isn't he? He's well, too much gore in my horror films. There's too much swearing. Oh, I don't know why you don't just watch TV like good people.
I didn't know you'd heard him speak.
Hey. With you, Jez.
Get to Fuck Island is a very conservative.
Why is there so much swearing, so much violence?
I will say,
I better go and ask Emotionally 14 why there's so many tits and swearing and violence in media, because I can't believe a company called Emotionally 14 would be in favour of that. Fuck me, Rowling.
Yeah, 8 Harry Potter books and you're still writing them, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I will say there are certain situations, I think animated games where they swear, where I think it's funnier when they bleep it.
Okay.
So it would be nice to have the option to turn it on the bleeping.
Yeah.
And it's not, for me, it wouldn't be to take out the swears. It would be because sometimes it's for comedic effect. I think it's funnier. Like Family Guy, if you ever watch Family Guy with the bleeps on, and then watch it with the bleeps off.
Or South Park, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. When you watch it with the bleeps on versus off, for me, the bleeps off one, the one with the uncut ones,
sometimes
don't necessarily... sometimes it's... But I think maybe that's what he's after.
I've thought for some games it was an option to...
Maybe for
probably
some
buried in the menu somewhere.
Yeah, it depends on the game as well. Because I think if it feels thematic and it works, I mean, okay, if it is just toilet humours for toilet humour's sake.
Yeah.
Like,
what about things like, say, Shit Cunt Warrior?
Well, I mean, okay, yeah, actually, I know you were joking, but obviously the game Shadow Warrior.
Yeah.
Obviously that does have quite a crude humour to it. But the game was always... The original Shadow Warrior was always a Duke Nukem clone with... over the top, with the emphasis being on over the top gore, because it was made in the 90s.
Was that the old Mega Drive platform game where a ninja decided the best thing you could do for stealth was to take a husky with him at all times?
That was Shadow Dancer.
Shadow Dancer, sorry.
Yeah. Shadow Dancer.
Yeah.
That sounds like a Pat Benatar album.
No, it was a shonky...
It was just a platform game.
Yeah, a shonky 2D platform where you were a ninja, but you had a dog with you, and you could...
Stealth, husky,
You could sick the dog on people when you're not, jumping, throwing shurikens at people. I think it's more effective to throw the shurikens, personally, but...
Well, huskies aren't the best at sneaking into places.
No. Oh, you say that, but
and then
if the husky never played Dead to
if
Rights
the husky got damaged, he didn't. Yeah, if the husky got damaged, he didn't die. It just turned into a puppy for about half an hour, and then it was fine.
Just like real life.
Yeah,
it's like owls. I don't know.
Become a puppy.
Just like a wedding of owls.
Yeah.
George R. R. Martin's new book.
I was going to say.
Yeah. Wedding of owls.
Coming never.
Yeah.
I'm too busy going on chat shows talking about the book I'm never writing. That's kind of how he talks.
Thanks, Bane.
Yeah. By the time I wrote the books, I was already a man.
Now I read Tiger Wood Came to
Now
Tea.
I'm an old man. Odd man.
Reading Tiger Who Came to Tea.
Anyway, yeah.
I'll make that happen.
What were you saying about...
I know you think I'm joking. I'm going to fucking make that happen.
Before I detracted you with my husky anecdote, where were we?
Yeah, so
Shadow Warrior?
Shadow Warrior, yeah.
It's got crude humour.
Yeah, it is got crude humour. You play a guy called Wang, who does make a lot. Obviously, he goes around killing demons and making, obviously, You Just Got Wanged.
Yeah, this sounds like Saints Row.
To be fair, yeah. I take your point. It's a Chinese name, but at the same time, they could have chosen any other Chinese name in the world, of which there are several.
Guard number 1, Long Wang. Guard number 2, Hung Well. Guard number 3, Enormous Genitals.
Guard number 4, Cock for Days.
Yeah, as I said, where it is, yeah, I suppose if you... But then again, the game makes it very clear from the onset that that's what you're in for.
Yeah.
With the humour. So I suppose if you didn't like it within the first 10 minutes, you're not going to play the game to its conclusion.
Yeah, I could sort of understand to a point also where Jeremy's coming from, because he is a parent of children who are sort of between 8 and 11.
Okay.
So he might
a game that's suitable for them.
Yeah, he might want to play a game that they might be all right with, Call of Duty on the visual level, in terms of like the violence doesn't affect them, but at the same time the language might be a different thing. So some people are like that,
Yeah.
Some people, it's not something I can relate to because I don't give a shit about either. But
I think that's the thing. When I've had obviously similar situation, obviously parents who obviously work in the same building as me talking about like going to see a film and it being a certain rating and they can't get in because their kid's just under there and they didn't realise or something.
Well, it's like
they assumed the film was 12A and found out it was a 15.
Yeah, they can. I mean, you can say fucking a 12A now and shit a couple of times.
Yeah, and
on the side, you've been watching Star Trek Discovery?
No.
There's a bit not an outcry, there's a bit of a few raised eyebrows because they say fuck in the new series of Star Trek. And it is kind of jarring at the same time. It's like, no, that's fine.
Okay.
It works in. It doesn't feel jarring.
Okay.
Unless you like long-time Star Trek. How do you feel if there's a fucking Star Wars?
I would be confused and opposed only because I'm already feeling like Star Wars is leaning too heavily on the Earth tropes.
Okay.
So if they started adding in Earth swears, bearing in mind that Legends always had different words that did the same effect, I would rather they did that.
Yeah.
than just have like.
I think Carabastus the only swear word they've got. At the moment, which is in Rebels and Rogue One.
Yeah, so stuff like that's fine.
Yeah,
I
liked Kark. Kark was a good Star Wars swear word.
Criffing clones.
Kark felt percussive.
Yeah,
but it didn't really get used as much as Criff.
No, but like if Rey turns up with facing across from Kylo Ren, I'm gonna fuck you up, you mugging cunt.
Jumping down with that.
Yeah, it's like. Guy Ritchie's fucking episode 9. Yeah. But I don't know how I'd feel about that. Whereas if she says, you criffing Kark, I'm going to rip your fucking lungs out.
The old banter poodoo when I'm done.
I'm not fussed for Daisy Ridley until I see videos of her lifting things with a gym. That normally doesn't do it for me either, but something about Daisy Ridley picking things up is,
I don't know, I'm not into... I think the best way I can describe it is I'm not into Rey, I really like Daisy Ridley.
Yeah.
Even though I realise they're the same, she's playing Rey, but I don't necessarily. Rey doesn't do anything for me, but Daisy Ridley does. Yeah.
No, I'm with you on that.
But I mean, obviously, any scene where she's done with Oscar Isaac, I'm distracted.
Look,
so
fair.
He is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Just gorgeous.
Yeah. He really is.
Yeah, he's
anyway,
handsome chap.
A bit of a sidetrack there. So Shadow Dancer.
Yeah. No, I sort of finished my bit on that, really.
All right.
It really doesn't bother me, to be honest with you.
No.
I would be fine with them putting that option in because I'd probably, even if I didn't use it, it's fine. It's not going to add anything massive to.
I don't understand with my daughter, it's kind of like she could barely talk, so it's not really an issue.
In a few years, it might be something you'd be a bit more conscious of.
More concerning to me rather than picking up swear words is as long as she knows to swear properly. That's important because you can be bad at swearing.
Yes,
and that would disappoint me.
Like using it like punctuation is too much.
Or saying pardon my French. Or sorry about swearing. I hate that. Just fucking swear or don't.
Yeah, shit will get off the pot.
Yeah,
you cunting fuck.
Yeah, cook or get off the toilet.
Yep. Why didn't you last at catering college? Anyway, Jeremy goes on to ask, "What's the most overrated game of all time?"
Tomb Raider.
Yeah. Okay.
Metal Gear Solid.
I've got one. It's controversial.
Pong.
Hasn't aged well.
The plot's shit.
Yeah, it's true. Final Fantasy 7.
Okay. It was certainly of a time.
I think it's good. I think it's dated horribly.
It's not aged well. No.
I really want to like the Final Fantasy games. The idea of getting into a big fantasy universe appeals, but I've just never been able to engage with any of them. I'm digging The Witcher. I guess that's kind of what I wanted.
Yes.
Yeah. You prefer your more. I suppose with Japanese role-playing games, they tend to go a little bit on the cutesier side in places.
I'm not a fan of a style. Also, they get very micromanaging on items and points, which you'd think as a tabletop gamer I'd be into. But I'm a theme and story-driven tabletop gamer. I don't get into mechanics like that.
Okay.
Yeah. While other games like obviously Skyrim, Witcher, obviously more.
The Witcher is kind of like what I like to micromanage. It's like, okay, you've leveled up. Here's 2 points to spend. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I don't like micromanaging inventory and stuff like that. I get really fed up with.
Yeah, you would have hated my playthrough on Skyrim
today. Apart from having to buy bigger saddlebags for Roach every 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, if he turns up,
you would have hated my the play of Skyrim I did on the train today. It was me going back and forth between 2 of my houses, fucking 1%. Going back and forth between the house I built and the house I bought. Taking armour from one to the other, and I had about £1,200 worth, and I have a capacity of 300, so I had to do it in multiple trips.
Could you at least fast travel?
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, but it's just the fact I had to keep going back in. You don't fast travel directly to the door, so you have to walk into town a bit.
It's the worst.
The thing you think of with fast travel is that, it's a quick way of getting about when you're in the game world. But no, it's a bit like it's editing, There's a version of Skyrim somewhere where there's that guy, Meanwhile, it's just your hero. Oh, we now look at our hero carrying 300 pounds of shite all the way across the...
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's better than my original playthrough on the Xbox 360. It was early on in the game where you find out basically that you're Dragonborn. Spoilers, you've had years. You find out you're Dragonborn.
Also very early on in the game.
Yeah, it is. So you go up to a tower and fight a dragon, and you realise you're Dragonborn because you absorb its soul.
Yep.
And I picked up all the scales and bones and everything it dropped, and I was overburdened by about £120. But I couldn't see any treasure chests anywhere that I could just leave it and come back later. So I walked it from the point of the tower all the way back to Whiterun in real time. It must have taken in real time a good 15 minutes to walk back because I was severely overloaded. But I did it because I didn't want to drop any of the stuff. And then when I was walking past it later on, and that's a fucking chest at the side of the road, or something to that effect. Then I realized, that was it. I realized
the chest in the tower.
I realized that you can leave it. You can leave things on people's bodies. I didn't realize that until then. So I could have just left it on a corpse, come back later and looted the corpse again, or just carried the corpse.
Yeah,
all been there.
Workaround.
I was just a bit like, I can't craft anything with Dragonbone until I've leveled up anyway.
Yeah, but if you got a chest, you're all right, aren't you?
Is Skyrim your most overrated game of all time, then?
No.
I mean, it's got to be up there.
Like I say, Final Fantasy VII, based on the games I've played, it just.
I would have thought you would have. Well, I don't know if you'd argue it to be more cult, I suppose, really, but I'd have thought you would have said something like Ico or Shadow of the Colossus.
Ico does irritate me, because it is, I think, spectacularly overrated. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm changing my answer. I did enjoy Final Fantasy VII. The Adventures of Ghost Bitch. So for those unfamiliar, my playthrough of Ico lasted approximately 40 minutes. 38 of those minutes were spent walking up and down the staircase, shouting at a ghost bitch, trying to get her to come up the stairs with me because I thought that was where I was supposed to be going. I later learned this was not true, and there was just an atrocious signposting system in terms of where to send you. Then I fell off the side of a cliff and didn't work out where I was supposed to go next, and I quit the game. Shadow of the Colossus I played for less time but enjoyed more. So yeah, Ico. That's better. That's a better example, actually. Nice one, Blake. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me of that.
One people seem to sing praises of these days, and it was all right. It's Duke Nukem 3D.
I like Duke Nukem 3D.
It was fine.
I played a lot of it.
It was good, but people seem to sing about it like it was this amazing game.
I think it's because we didn't get a really, really good Duke Nukem from Forever. Yeah. It was fine, but it was quite underwhelming.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I didn't get
Duke Nukem 3D holds the title of the best Duke Nukem game.
Unless Bulletstorm turns out good with the DLC.
Yeah. But,
that'd be a backhanded compliment, wouldn't it? It's the best game you've done.
Nukem
it's not your game.
Duke Nukem was in the section of good Doom clones, really.
Yeah.
But I mean, in terms of, does it deserve its place in history? It wasn't groundbreaking like Doom was.
I think there was some. I don't know. I can't think, but there was something about it that was relatively groundbreaking.
It was the first one to add a bit more verticality because I think Doom obviously did have lifts and stuff in it, but I think Duke Nukem was the first time you could look up. I think
maybe, although Dark Forces might have been up there as well.
I don't know what was first, to be honest. I don't know if Duke Nukem might have pipped Star Wars to it.
Sure. Right in.
Yeah.
LucasArts.
It did have things like the jetpack, like the items, and the jetpack and all that sort of thing as well. Yeah. As I said, a totally fun game. But I think also the other thing that people remember it for are the crude
silliness,
lewd stuff, like the
shake it, baby.
Yeah, or drinking out.
You want to dance?
Or getting health from having a shit. And
I've been there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to be fair, I felt that way after a particularly good one. You right there?
Yeah.
What about tabletop?
Overrated tabletop.
Yeah, apart from Monopoly.
Well, obviously, is that even overrated? I mean, Carcassonne.
Okay.
It's fine. It's a bog standard Euro, but it seems to run for 15 years with endless expansion.
Never played it.
I played it on the digital version. I've not played the physical tabletop. I'm better.
I've only played a few Euros, like Ticket to Ride.
Again, it's fine. It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
I played it with a group of people, and I had fun playing it with that group of people. And if someone said, "Do you fancy a game of it?" I won't say no to it.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's not
do I feel the need to? Do I feel the need to rush out and buy my own copy of it?
No, it's not MechWarrior, is it?
No. I have it on. I have a copy on Steam, which I think I picked up for a Humble Bundle, which I was a bit like, if I really, really want to scratch that itch, it's there.
And it cost me 4p.
Yeah, but
Poker.
Poker? Okay.
If it's your thing, fine, but it's just I can't get into it.
Yeah, fair enough. I thought of one, Exploding Kittens.
Never played it.
I played it.
Is it more of an internet thing?
It's
one of those ones that feels like it's Bacon Cats, the game.
Yeah. Cards Against Humanity went that way for a while.
It did for a while. I still kind of feel like it has a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy Cards Against Humanity. I think that's the thing. You play a game, you go, oh, that's really fun, but then it becomes stupidly popular, and you go, now I hate it.
I kind of liked it as a comedy writer. I think.
Yeah.
It was like when it was us guys playing. It felt like comedy writers hammering jokes out. That was great. You play it with some basic bitches, and the humour is basic as fuck.
Yeah.
And it's just
that's probably why I don't like
sometimes when you play it with playing normal people with Cards Against Humanity, is the points go to whoever played the rudest card. We play for context. We play for jokes that make sense rather than surreal for the sake of surreal or just because you got the card.
I once played it with some people who were doing it as like a drinking game, and they were already drunk.
We had to be drunk to do a drinking game. No one ever goes, oh, too, let's play shithead.
That's true.
True, but then they just went. But yeah, I was playing cards thinking, oh, I'll be clever, that'll make them laugh. And then they were going, oh no, they played the windmill full of.
Yeah, play the surreal card. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
And they just go, that's funny. And I just thought, it didn't really work with the feed line.
No, that annoys me.
I mean, the feed lines might as well not even be there.
Part of the problem I think with Cards Against Humanity as well is it is spawned. It's basically like the Doom of card games because it's spawned this enormous list of clones, and some of them just I don't understand.
Cyanide and Happiness one is really good.
I'm sure that is good.
I didn't want to pick it out though just because I thought it was too similar.
Yeah, no, from what I've heard, you could do it's good, different enough, so you can justify it in both.
Okay, yeah, that's the thing. I like Cyanide and Happiness. I like the concept of it doing that.
Yeah,
but I was just like, in terms of having it as a party game, is it too close to?
Yeah. No, from what I've heard, I think it's fair to say the Cyanide and Happiness game wouldn't exist if it hadn't been Card Against Humanity, but they have made it their own.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, there's one I've played recently which I quite like, and I think it's another one that would work well with people trying to go for context and stuff. It's called Bucket of Death, and you pull out cards, and somebody reads off a scenario.
My dad's got it. Yeah, I haven't got around to playing
it. And then
you
pull out the Bucket of Doom.
You pull out Bucket of Doom. Sorry, yeah. You pull out. All right.
Oh, that's sorry. That's
subtle.
Of Hexen.
Well, if you're going to mention it, at least get it right.
All right.
Yeah. Taking over the podcast.
Yeah, I know.
Don't be problematic.
All right, Blake Fury.
Fucking Blake's explaining at me. Oh no, I got it wrong. To be fair, so different.
No, I was only trying to correct.
Hey, that's fine. Yeah, Bucket of Doom is quite fun. I don't know if you played that one.
My dad's got it. I've not got around to playing it yet.
I think he got it out to be played at like a party once, but then we never got round to it.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I played that, and that's quite good, and that'd probably be the kind of one that would work for maybe even work as something like a Let's Play or something like Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah, totally.
Even though we were playing that wrong at the time, but obviously I didn't know that then.
Again, I think it was more about the laugh than it was about.
Doesn't matter.
No, exactly. Everybody had fun with it, but there you go.
I don't think we played it that long anyway, if memory serves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Next, Jeremy asks, what is your favourite retro console and game?
Ooh.
A particular example he gave is forget consoles, I love my Commodore 64. They're making a comeback.
Really?
Okay.
There's a guy at work who's bought like a dozen of them, and he's been sort of chopping and changing the parts to make a sort of working one.
Are you sure they're coming back, or is it just him?
No, apparently there's like a small community. It's a dedicated community, but it's not massive. But
really,
are there 64 of them?
I don't know. Maybe that would work. Yeah, the Commodore 64.
Yeah.
I know they did they crowdfunded one, didn't they? Like a replacement,
possibly,
like a sort of this sort of size thing, but it had the real kind of keyboard and clack.
Take your word for it.
Yeah, apparently so.
It wasn't a computer I ever owned.
No, I had an Amiga 500 Plus.
Yeah, I think we had an Amiga. We had an Amiga 500, and then we had a 600, and then we had a 1200. But there was a
600 with an Amiga 500 that Dad put an extra 500 mega RAM into, which effectively made it an Amiga 1000.
Yeah, but didn't we get 1200 for a bit? But then no games were released.
1200 came out, and it was like it was with Vista of Amigas. So we swapped it back for an older one. Yeah,
because
literally nothing worked on it.
I saw this gaming market in the one I go to in London. I've seen the Amiga, like the package that we bought.
Yeah.
Because it came with Captain Planet.
Yes, I remember the pack.
Deluxe Paint.
Yeah.
And Bart vs. the Space Mutants.
Yeah.
And the Amiga 500s. And another game which escapes me now. There were definitely 3 games in Deluxe Paint.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what the other one was. But I saw it at the gaming market. And I was like, oh, oh wow, that's so cool. That was the one we bought. 100 quid, you can fuck off.
Yeah.
If it's working,
I'm sure it was working, and it was boxed. Admittedly, it was stuffed up box, but it was
a little worse for wear. Yeah.
So you went 50 quid each, yeah?
Yeah, obviously. He gets it alternate Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think I've only ever bought a couple of games at those gaming markets. And I bought Ring of Red just because I love that game.
Console I had longest was either the Mega Drive or the PS3.
Okay.
PS3 was outstanding. A lot of good games on PS3.
Yeah, there were some cool ones. I had one of those for a while.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what I had on, because I had Super Nintendo.
I think there was a lot of games I played a lot on Mega Drive which probably weren't that good in isolation, but there's a lot of nostalgia associated there.
Yes.
And some were brilliant and like Gunstar.
Well, they weren't all zombies ate our neighbours, yeah.
No, that's true. I played a shitload of Donkey Kong Country on the Super Nintendo.
Oh, yeah.
That was a great game.
That was a good one, yeah. Our neighbours but one had that.
Yeah, that was a year. That was a year. Basically, I had a Super Nintendo. Me and my sister had one. And it was coming up to my birthday. And there was... my parents were saying to me, like, well, what do you want for your birthday? And they'd bought me... I think Super Return of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I've been reading about this game called Donkey Kong Country. And they were like, fuck.
I guess we should have asked first.
Thankfully, my granddad hadn't bought me a present yet. So they were like, is there any chance? I know it's a bit more than you'd normally spend on him. But so I guess
we should have asked first rather than buying a present and then asking, because what's the logic there? Yeah.
It was kind of like, it must have been, hang on, if I was expecting a gift... Maybe it was Christmas then.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. I can't think.
Yeah.
But I played a shit ton of Donkey Kong Country. I played a shit ton of Super Return of the Jedi, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It
was nails.
It was.
Yeah.
Super Star Wars was the worst. Empire was pretty bad. I couldn't get past Bespin on Empire. I finished Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
But I never finished the other two.
No. Super Star Wars was horrible.
Yeah, Super Star Wars was nails. And I think it's probably still the PS4 remaster one they did is probably nails still.
Pretty faithful.
Yeah. In terms of games I sunk hours into... On the Amiga, we had the Infocom collection, which was all the text-based adventure games. That was pretty cool. We as a family, we played through one of those.
Yeah, cool.
Enchanter, which was you used to have to write the spells out on the keyboard. So you would you'd learn a spell, Zifmir, the ice dagger or something, and then you'd have to write it down somewhere, and then come back to it later, and then you might need it, and then you'd just be like, right, Zifmir on Orc, and then it would be like. What happens if it actually was the spell you wanted? Like, he's immune to ice daggers. But of course you knew that. You did. He killed you.
Sam cleaves your skull into.
Yeah. I'd quite fancy, actually, because you can play the Infocom games in a web browser now. Because, 2018. It's been the case for some years, which is depressing, because, that was the cutting edge when I was a kid.
Yeah, there it goes.
Yeah. But you can play the Infocom games, and I want to replay Deadline. Because Deadline was a detective game.
Limited number of moves.
Yeah, you had 24 hours worth of moves, and every move you did advanced the clock by 1 minute. Even if you said wait, it would advance it by 1 minute. So the idea was that at certain times of day, different people would be in different places, and you'd have a limited window to go and speak to them and stuff. Okay. So I'd quite like to go and play that again at some point. So I may do that at some point. Never know.
You won't.
No, I know. I don't have time. Too busy talking about it.
Favourite console and game, Blake? Is it MAME?
Sort of cheating.
Yeah. We did waste a lot of time on MAME, but...
Smashed away through 2 keyboards, yeah.
Well,
I asked one of my friends, is it worth getting a Raspberry Pi just to run MAME on? He said, I'd take it for best use of a Raspberry Pi.
Good answer.
I would probably say, my fond childhood memories obviously spawn a lot from either the Amiga or from the Mega Drive. The big Mega Drive games were stuff like Gunstar Heroes, or obviously I did play an awful lot of Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, but that was obviously par for the course.
Yeah.
We did have a Mega CD, and we did probably play more Night Trap than we probably should have.
Yeah.
It was for novelty.
Yeah.
But it was
of a time.
That wasn't what I was going to say, but yeah, right.
It was.
I was going to say turgid piece of shit, but yeah.
Both accurate.
Yeah.
Sewer Shark was slightly better.
Sewer Shark got a bad rap, I think. It was a perfectly good shoot 'em up game.
I remember digging out the Mega CD a few years afterwards. Stuff like we would. I think.
How's it look on a 1080p TV?
Yeah, it was. It was
not great.
I think it was
wager.
PS2 era. I dug it out. And we stuck Surashark on, and I was like, I don't fucking see.
Yeah, run it for a 1080p TV. Yeah, it's just going to look like a Magic Eye picture.
Yeah, it was just so pixelated crap. I was like, how the hell did we watch this and think this was amazing?
Yeah.
Not trying to watch a 240p YouTube video on your phone.
Yeah, basically.
Ah, my eyes! It just sliced them in two. Probably go.
Go on. Yeah, I mean, like I also, as I said, I had a lot of fun memories with stuff like that. I mean, I did, PS1 era, I did enjoy stuff like, I mean, yes, I really enjoyed Final Fantasy VII, but I played it when it first came out. And really,
Blake's got a look on his face right now like he wants to fight me.
No, I don't. I don't want to fight you.
I don't want to fight you. I'll beat you. Yeah. I want to destroy you, but I don't wish to fight you.
Use fucking Omnislash.
Whatever.
Do you want Sonic's friends? Or?
Yeah. It was good over this time. It just, I agree with you. It's not aged well. I've not felt the need to rebuy it. Let's put it that way.
No.
To replay it.
I've just remembered one that popped into my head that I hadn't recalled. Master System Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusion was
used to have
bloody marvelous game.
We used to have that on the Game Gear, I think.
Ah, well,
Which is basically the same console.
Which would have been
same console,
which would have been the same
mine
game.
didn't require the power of several suns to do 8 minutes.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah. Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusion would be a great shot, actually. Or like Super Nintendo with maybe Aladdin. That was a good game.
Yeah, animation on that's superb.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Yeah, very authentic.
Yeah, but the other thing, because of all the reboots that obviously have come out, I've really enjoyed the fact that obviously Double Fine have brought out all the old LucasArts games like Monkey Island, Day of the Tentacle, Full Throttle. So playing them again has made me feel happy. Yeah. I think that must be on. They must have they ported
on PS4, I think.
Yeah, have they ported them to iPad? Is the other thing? Because I thought
I've never looked.
Don't believe.
I didn't know if
so.
they ported stuff like Day of the Tentacle and that to that.
They've done Grim Fandango for sure, because they've got that on the Android as well.
I've got Grim Fandango. Yeah.
So I'd imagine so, because Full Throttle is actually less interactive, less complicated.
There's no reason they couldn't, I suppose.
Yeah. If anything, I'd have thought Grim Fandango would be a pain in the ass to control on something like that.
You have to control it with the keyboard.
Yeah.
Whereas Full Throttle was just point and click.
Yeah, would be very easy.
Wazzed on keyboard, or just used for D-pad.
Yeah.
Although replaying it, I couldn't remember how to get rid of the dog. But
in what? Sorry.
In the junkyard in Full Throttle.
I would have to be if I played through it again, I could probably remember, but I don't know how to tell.
I was sitting there going, I remember there's a bit where you sort of do something with it. Yeah.
I remember the comedy running away from the dog.
Brilliant game.
I remember this. We used to have this weird game on the Amiga called Curse of Enchantia, which was like a point, but it was very surreal. Like if you got down into the sea, and you were walking around. You had to get a fishbowl from the sea floor to put on your head as a helmet, and then that stopped you from drowning. And then to get out of the sea, you had to pull the plug on it. Okay, it's just like very odd. It was like it was basically like
so like a point and click game, but surreal.
Reaching out to listeners, does anyone out there remember a PC game called Ecstatica, which was genuinely terrifying?
The name does ring a bell. Yeah,
it was like a medieval fantasy type thing, but you were just like exploring this abandoned town, and there were goblins and a werewolf running around the town. And the graphics weren't creepy. The graphics were quite cartoony, but it was just eerie.
Yeah,
it was a weird ass game.
Yeah, no, I remember there was that. Yeah, because you get beaten up at one point, and you were found yourself shackled and upside down. You had to escape from that.
Yeah, it was a weird ass game.
Or if you ran ahead, you'd find
probably like mid-90s. That's what chap. Yeah, just
94.
94. I was close.
Yeah, it was like very early 3D.
Yeah, just curious if anyone else. It wasn't macabre or anything like that. It was just weird. It was like surreal weird.
But I think I read an article where it was actually remembered as one of like the very first survival horror.
I think you're probably right. Yeah.
Well, not. I think Alone in the Dark.
Alone in the Dark, probably. Seventh Guest was more of a puzzle game.
I guess so. Yeah.
It was one of those kind of Professor Layton. It was a bundle of puzzles loosely tied together.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
Similar. It was eerie at times, but once you kind of got past it, it was like a book of puzzles, really.
Right. Cool. So that's a good set of answers. We came with quite a few good ones there. I still think to be honest, there's probably an episode in each of those different consoles anyway. But obviously, some of us didn't have some of them. But
yeah, we weren't predominantly Nintendo family, were we?
So one last question. This is one you sent to me, Brad.
Cheers, Jeremy.
Must be busy on Get to Fuck Island.
Yeah.
Which video games will make good tabletop games, and vice versa?
None. Do you know what I'd love? Do you know what I would genuinely like to play? A tabletop version of Mech Warrior.
I'd like to see them
I'd
adapt Titanfall.
Blake, it's been enough a month.
I'd like to see them adapt Titanfall.
Okay, yeah.
Adapt Titanfall to it.
Yeah.
That'd work.
I'd like to see a board game of Dark Souls.
Okay.
Yeah. Someone has it, wants to invite me over and play, that'd be nice.
Resident Evil 2.
Obviously, I don't do enough gaming nights.
Yeah. Resident Evil 2. Oh.
Doom.
Already got that.
Yeah.
On the way.
I think Bloodborne would work as a card game.
Big fuck off package.
Yeah, Bloodborne does work as a card game very well.
Bayonetta? Something like that? Like a Ninja Gaiden style?
I think the thing with those, I mean, to me, those sort of games, I would worry that the whole thing about stuff like God of War, Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, is that I think a lot of it's in the speed of it.
Okay.
So I think putting a game into it, like putting something like that, like a very high action game into a miniatures game, I worry that something would be lost.
Dino Crisis.
Yes.
Yeah, that could work. I agree that could work.
Silent Hill.
Fully online Mansions of Madness.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that'd be awesome. Silent Hill.
Well, there is a cop game.
How would that work?
You walk around a map, nothing happens, but you go mad.
There is a new Cthulhu game out this year, actually.
Yeah, there's a Call of Cthulhu's got its own one.
You know, you could kind of argue that Mansions of Madness has sort of Silent Hill-y bits to it.
It does, yeah.
You know, it's got that sort of...
Cat in the box, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cox.
Bulletstorm would probably work.
Yeah, that could be.
Maybe. I'm just saying that because I'm playing it recently, but...
I want, yeah.
It's about to say, what about Call of Duty? But that's bolt action.
Or any other war game.
Yeah, basically.
I want a board game of Uncharted where the board just crumbles whenever you touch it.
Oh, Left 4 Dead.
That's
basically Zombicide.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's Zombicide.
Yeah.
Dead Space.
Dead Space, that's a good one.
Well, I guess that's coming next year.
Is it?
Well, Nemesis is basically Dead Space.
Oh, okay. I think there is also a game, a space-themed game about exploration that might have some horror bits to it. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head.
Chronicle X?
No, Space something.
Okay.
I don't know what the second name. It's a 2-word one and it's got space something. I can't remember what the second one is, but
I'll try and remember.
It might come to me, but
I know they did
it looks like Isaac Clarke on the box.
Okay.
I know they did a board game and sort of zoomed it out, but if they did, they could quite easily turn XCOM into a miniatures game.
Yeah, they could.
Mm-hmm.
This is true.
I was thinking with because obviously that's the whole turn-based strategy game in itself anyway.
Yeah. Basically anything turn-based would work.
Sunset Riders for deck builder.
Cool.
I'm just throwing shit out here.
Yeah. Simpsons.
You know you got the best spec when you pull.
How amazed would you be if tomorrow I posted next legendary expansion is going to be Sunset Riders?
That's the end of my life.
Really?
I just do a shit
yeah.
with happiness. What about
HeroClix Gunstar Heroes?
I was going to say Simpsons Arcade had like the beat 'em up modes thing.
I liked Simpsons Wrestling. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was a fun one.
That's Streets of Rage.
Which was your board game?
Yeah.
I guess it would be kind of Dragon Tides, wouldn't it?
Kind of.
Yeah.
This is the trouble, isn't it? A lot of these things they've been done.
Well, I think they've had a big
with the serial numbers filed off. Yeah.
They've been
Hospital.
There's been a big Well, yeah, there's
a video game of Police Precinct.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Multiplayer.
Yeah.
Police procedural.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, especially if it is multiplayer and you're working together to bring down someone. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right. I still maintain that Games Workshop missed a trick by not having a Warhammer Online where you could customize things with if you want to repaint an army, it's a bucket tool.
Yeah,
it's like the simplest thing.
Like the Blood Bowl, I think the first Blood Bowl you could do paint.
Same as that sort of thing. But on a 40k level, you can customize your army with like, I'm going to have him with this chainsaw arm or with the laser gun or something.
It would be absolutely lovely, but then they'd say, well, if we're doing that, we're not selling the miniatures, and that's their money.
I'm not convinced they're the same players. I'm of the feeling that you'd actually get more players who would go for the miniatures if not for the time and space.
Okay.
For the money, time and space. I feel like that would bring in a different demographic. You probably would get some bleed over, but I think you'd get a different demographic. And I think actually you'd probably get things like online players who want to play with people around the world. Yeah. Can't do that with a physical tabletop.
Actually, a video game adaptation of Rebellion would be awesome.
I think they did. I don't know if it's the same, but they did a Star Wars Rebellion game. It's Legends, but
Empire at War though was kind of the same thing.
Similar, yeah. Rebellion was a bit like a 4X strategy game, like Sins of the Solar Empire style.
A two-player competitive version of Rebellion would be good.
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you after this. It strikes me as very similar. Maybe not the same. All Rebellion's probably benefited from the years of gameplay mechanic evolution.
I mean, if we're going back to what you're saying about obviously different players and that, me and Brad haven't really played 40k very much since Second Ed, but played all the Dawn of Wars, played Space Marine, played
We get lapsed players as well. People who are just like, I can't keep up with this because the rule book would always be the latest one on the internet.
Yeah, okay. Legacy video games.
Legacy video game.
Play for once, destroys itself.
Yeah, to be fair, I've played.
That sounds like an indie game. Yeah, that sounds like something some guy. Oh, it's clever. Going to delete
subversive.
Yeah, like
probably bigoted. Who knows?
Like Undertale or something.
Yeah. That'd be good though.
Yeah, it's just I've watched a video of it and I feel like I don't.
It's the thing. A lot of these games, the problems are that like Descent is any fantasy RPG.
Yeah.
And Twilight Imperium is a 4X space game.
Yep.
So you play Sins of Solar Empire or Galactic Battlegrounds or Galactic Civilizations.
Well, they've been done. Like I really want a video game version of Blood Bowl.
And you have one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Similarly nails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turnover.
I mean,
if I ever get knuckle tattoos.
I'm trying to think of any others. Tabletop. Maybe I need to think about the video game to tabletop one a bit more. Earth Defense Force. Would work as a tabletop.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like got that shonk factor to it, and it's squad based, so it would fit.
Co-op faster than light.
Okay, as a board game.
Co-op board game, yeah.
Right. There's no bridge crew.
Kind of.
Yeah.
What happens is you open the box. You open the box, and a boxing glove punches you in the dick.
The Dark Souls Kickstarter.
Yeah, basically.
People paid extra for that.
They don't do a lot of tactical squad-based miniatures games, it seems to me. Like a Rainbow Six style.
Okay. Or squad versus mini.
Yeah.
Skirmish Tanking can do it. There was another one which was basically kind of a James Bond-alike.
Okay.
Stealth Car, I can't remember what it's called for it.
Like that Osprey one. What's that Steam
Black
game?
Ops, I think, was by Osprey.
Okay.
Could do that.
What's that game on Steam that you really liked?
Oh, Door Kickers.
That's it.
Yeah, that was fun. That had that really like just I can do it next. Right, I know what I did wrong. I can do it this time.
Yeah,
you couldn't.
No, it's true. That's what I found. It's like, I think if I try it from
use a sniper because that's fun as fuck.
Yes. Yeah. I got to the first level where he comes in like on the beachfront house.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, that I got stuck there.
Yeah, it took me a while.
Part of the reason is because it's on my phone and it's quite fiddly.
I haven't got it on iOS actually. I probably should pick it up on iOS.
Yeah, it came as
got a PC
came as part of a humble bundle. So,
cool.
Got it on my phone and played it, and it's like I'm not quite. You can't quite refine.
I might try on an iPad then. That'll be a bit easier.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think it's optimized for tablet.
Yeah,
play,
okay, I might try. I might pick up an iPad.
Like most games are, to be fair.
Guitar Hero overboard game.
How would that work?
I don't know.
All right. To be fair, I'm just asking for ideas. You didn't have to justify it, I guess. A Star Wars pen and paper RPG set in the Old Republic.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a video game from a video game to tabletop.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Okay. That'd be
KOTOR, the RPG system.
Yes. Be lovely.
I think similarly, I imagine there are some people that would want a Mass Effect board game or RPG of some description.
I'd love a board game of battle chess.
I remember I played a bootleg. Sorry, that's just dawned on me.
Fuck, you're tired.
Yeah. Online HeroClix. for the similar reasons of being able to play against people all around the world and stuff.
Yeah, totally. Amazing, something that isn't
you'd melt through your
fourth
screen.
I seem to recall reading somewhere that somebody's made a bootleg one on Tabletop Simulator, the game.
Okay, yeah,
so they've got an X-Wing one as well.
I've heard really good things about Tabletop Simulator. If I had a PC, I'd probably be on it. Cause certainly, like even like when games are on Kickstarter, the demo model is print and play, and they put a copy on Tabletop Simulator as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's nice.
A friend of mine's made the Leading Edge Aliens game up on Tabletop Simulator as well.
Cool.
Yeah. I can understand the appeal.
Yeah. Imperial Assault?
Well, as a turn-based video game, or
I guess so, like a Space Hulk style.
Yeah.
But then that's just the mobile game, isn't it? It's like Uprising.
Yeah, I guess so. That was real time, wasn't it? It was more an arcade game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or would you
be something more of a kind of along like an Elder Sign type adaptation?
When you adapt a board game to a video game, do you want it to be just like, as you said, like Space Hulk or Blood Bowl, where it is literally the board game
on a digital
animated?
Thing. Yeah.
Or do you want it to be a similar thing but video gameized, if you know what I mean? So like the very bad idea when they tried to put the live action bit in the first Blood Bowl, and then they swiftly took that, got rid of it in the second game.
Oh, they got rid of that very quick, didn't they? To its toilet.
Because if you did that with Imperial Assault, obviously that's just going to turn into Battlefront. If you
it's basically Battlefront, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of. Actually, yeah, that makes sense.
Or 90% of Star Wars games.
Yeah, fair enough. Cool. I think that's a good list.
Yeah,
I think people can work with that.
It's obvious we're tired.
Yeah, and what? What games do you want to see adapted from tabletop to video games and vice versa? Why don't you write into us at podcast@emotionally14 and tell us, or you can tweet us at emotionally14 or Facebook us on Facebook. And you can also listen to the show, subscribe and review on many locations, including but not limited to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Libsyn, Feedburner, Stitcher, Podchaser, Podbean, fucking everywhere. There's no excuse. Podcast Addict, Podcast Republic, fucking everywhere. We're anything like Podcast Peninsula. If there's one of them, we're there too. Podcast Dictatorship, fucking Podcast Utopia. I don't know, anywhere. If you've got podcast in the name, there's a good chance you can search for us and we'll turn up. To do that, guys, where can people find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at Harmer the Appreciator, and you can find me on Twitter at FucksakeBlake, and you can find me on Facebook if you dare.
And if you can.
Yeah.
Brad?
You can search for Brad Harmer Barnes on Facebook. I'm at RealBradHB on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to add me on PS4, I'm NBRBH. That's November Bravo Romeo Bravo Hotel. I had to think about that because I'm tired. We also, my books are available from Amazon, and I write gaming articles and videos for Emotionally 14.
Yes, indeed. And you can buy those books, the aforementioned novellas, from Emotionally 14 via either the Team E14 page, the Support E14 page, or any post that Brad writes.
Indeed.
So,
Ritma.
So you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at RobWadeVision. And you can find everything else I'm doing at Talk Star Wars or on the sister podcast, The Crazy Train, which is available at a similar number of podcast providers. Thank you for listening. This has been the E14 Gamecast from emotionally14.com.
We should probably thank Jeremy as well. He was basically here.
Yes, this is true, actually. Thank you, Jeremy. You sent us lots of lovely questions. We had a jolly good time answering them. Hopefully they're fun to listen back to.
Yeah. Number one superfan, Jeremy.
Number one Medway-based superfan, Jeremy. How's that?
Yeah, all right.
Because Superfan Paul is still,
but he doesn't tweet us anymore, does he?
Not as much.
No. Damn it, Paul.
Yeah, that's true. We'll sort that out. This has been the E14 Gamecast for emotionally14.com. Bibbidi Bop Games.